What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at Data Dash, and today is January 25th of 2018. Well, folks, outside of the fact that you can obviously tell that I'm sick right now and the fact that I've been on my world tour, I'm currently here in beautiful Zurich, Switzerland. It's obvious that there's a video that is overdue on this channel due to the dozens upon dozens of requests that I've gotten personally, and that is our Coins of the Month video for the month of February. So, seeing as we're very close to February, it's time to do the video. Now, keep in mind, as always, guys, with all of these videos, as well as any video I put on my channel, it is simply just my opinion. This is not investment advice in any way, shape, or form. And no matter if it's fundamental analysis or technical analysis that we're taking a look at in crypto markets, do not blindly follow it, guys. Do your own research. Look into it for yourself, okay? So we've got a lot to talk about in regards to this video, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So before we jump right into the picks, I really want to spend some time to talk about my philosophy for this month. A lot of people are obviously looking for innovative projects, maybe in the small cap space in regards to cryptocurrencies. And though I'm on the forefront for innovation, it's become obviously clear that in the month of January, as well as most likely February, we are taking more of a bearish tone in the cryptocurrency space. We had the rampant month of December, which was just absolutely bullish. Everyone was taking risk, and it got to a point where I even stated on the channel I couldn't find a cheap altcoin. Altcoins were absolutely mooning, and Bitcoin was on the downside. And though Bitcoin has remained on the downside, as well as other altcoins here in this bloody month of January, I think we're going to be stepping into the month of February where cryptocurrencies won't exactly take a bearish tone, but we're going to need to take more secure plays, as I've been talking about since early January, where I took a large position back into Bitcoin. So you'll see that trend throughout the video. Okay, so enough rambling. Let's go ahead and jump into the few projects that I want to take a look at. So first and foremost, I want to take a look here at Icon. Now, you all obviously already know that I've been quite optimistic on Icon. I've committed that I want to have a long-term position in Icon, and I will add to it over time as I find more capital to put in. However, Icon itself has positioned itself in a very interesting position with all the recent news in South Korea, as well as a few other fundamental variables that come into play as of recent. So we've got a lot to dive into. I want to go ahead and talk about the first big piece of news, which is the Icon mainnet launching. Now, this is a very good first step for Icon because as an enterprise solution in the cryptocurrency space, going from testnet to mainnet, though it didn't have a major impact on price, usually it would be buy the news, buy the rumor, sell the news. I think personally is a good maturing step on a fundamental sense. Again, I like to trade and invest usually on fundamentals, not on hype. And the fact that Icon is launching on mainnet, this is going to allow people to do a lot of different things. So as we go here through the Medium article here, we can see that on January 24th, the Genesis block was brought onto the network. It was the first block on the official mainnet. And there's a lot of good things that we have to realize out of this. Not only do they have the final steps coming for the official Chrome Web Store wallet, which will allow you to store your Icon on there, as well as any Icon-based tokens, but they are going to allow people to do ERC20 token swaps as well. So Icon's starting to step into the forefront. It's allowing people to start building projects on top of it. And whereas this has been a private project in regards to South Korea, really working heavily with South Korean financial institutions and partners, as well as the South Korean government, this is something that's going to be much more broader. It's going to actually start getting out into the forefront of developers. So I'm very excited in that regard. Congrats to the team who's been working on this project for the past few years. Again, many people don't know that even though Icon recently just launched on exchanges or recently had its ICO, it's been working with the South Korean government and a variety of other partners for quite some time. And that's also going to be a very, very big influence on my reason for being bullish on Icon this month. If we take a fundamental perspective on this, if we think about all the recent news recently and why we've taken more of a bearish tone in regard to cryptocurrencies, it's mostly due to one factor. That's South Korea. With every bullish run-up that we see in this market, much like we saw in December, there is always going to be something to take it down. And in this case, it was much like in the case of the previous run-up during August and September, which was the China FUD. And now we're seeing it in South Korea. Asian markets have a heavy effect in regards to cryptocurrency. South Korea processes billions of dollars of transactions that makes up a large chunk of volume in regards to crypto markets. Well, Let's think about it in a fundamental sense. If South Korea was going to ban cryptocurrencies, or if they were to ban ICOs, why exactly would this be good for Icon? Well, I'm going to first off say that I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't think the South Korean government's going to do that. But if the case is that the market is starting to buy into the FUD and buy into the rumors and the fear that there is going to be regulations set in on South Korean markets, Icon itself is one of the safest plays, much like how we talk about NEO in regards to China. China removed ICOs, they removed crypto trading, but what still stands? NEO, obviously. They could barge into the door tomorrow and arrest Dao Hongfei and do whatever, but they don't do that because they're supporting projects like that. Because the government in this respect, in regards to South Korea, does not want to ban cryptocurrencies. They don't want to ban blockchain. They want to have a sense of control on it. And they've been fostering innovation in regards to Icon for the past few years, not only funding it, but supporting it. So because of that, I think Icon is an extremely safe play in regards to South Korea. Again, it's my opinion, but I've been looking at this project for months. I've really found a fascination with it, and the list of partners speaks volume. So again, if you want to learn more about Icon on a fundamental sense, how it stands out comparative to other blockchain-based projects, please go watch my video on it, guys. I can't spend all the in-depth time to talk about it. However, it's more of a socioeconomic case here in regards to Icon for this month. There's a lot of fear in the market, and in a fear and secure-based market, a lot of people are going to strike for opportunity, and that's personally what I see with Icon, not only in a short-term perspective, but in a long-term perspective. I think Icon is well-positioned no matter what happens. Next up, I want to talk about another favorite as well. This is something I think was actually the last coin coverage video I did on my channel. As you all know, I've gotten a little bit more picky with doing coin coverage videos on my channel where I go in depth on projects because I really wait for things that excite me. And Rayblox was no exception. I had an absolute fantastic time not only learning about Rayblox, but having the opportunity between a fellow community member and myself sending back one single Rayblock between one another and not having to pay any fees or not having to wait for any long confirmation times within about 2 to 3 seconds, practically instantaneous. And because of that, I think Rayblox positions itself for something that I think is going to not only be something big in February, but along with that as well be a larger topic going into 2018, and that is a peer-to-peer digital cash. Now, Rayblox itself is relatively simple. It uses a DAG, or a directed acyclic graph, so it's not based on simple blockchain technology, but it uses something more specifically known as a block lattice structure. And this is much more different comparative to a blockchain, and though I won't go into the heavy details, a blockchain basically stores an entire history of every single transaction, whereas Rayblox makes sure that every user on the network has a copy of their own blockchain, and that when you want to send a transaction, that transaction actually goes into 2 components, a sender block and a receiver block. And once the other person has received the block, they sign it off, you can now go back and confirm that the send transaction has gone through and it has been sent off to the other individual. So it's a interesting method. It's different comparative to blockchain. It's been so far provably secure, and I think there needs to be more testing on Rayblox. I'm not going to stay away from criticism, but I'm a very big fan of the project, and I've been definitely avid on wanting to make a long-term investment on it. And there's a lot of great things that are coming up in regards to Rayblox that could lead towards it not only doing well in regards to price, but continuing to see adoption. So first and foremost, good news is that the price itself has seen a pretty astronomical discount. In regards to Rayblox, we can see that it's had more than a 50% haircut in the sense of valuation, and as you all know, I like 50% discounts. As we go here as well on a fundamental sense outside of price, there isn't too much technical analysis we can do on Rayblox. But I will say that for me personally, I like not only fundamental valuation behind these projects and fundamental aspects that make me excited, but there's something that will always outweigh practically anything outside of technology, and that's community. Because you can have all the money in the world for an ICO and go out and market your project to death, but Rayblox itself comes from that core community of individuals who like the idea of a peer-to-peer decentralized cash. And because of that, you can see that Rayblox's community, whether it be through their Reddit or their Discord or their Telegram, that they're obviously passionate about this idea. And you can see that they're already working towards getting a ton of different retailers and small businesses and e-commerce who accept Ray blocks because it's feeless and it's instantaneous. You don't have to wait for 10-minute confirmations like you do on the Bitcoin network, or wait behind a variety of other people, seeing as Bitcoin can only process single-digit transactions a second. So really exciting stuff. Again, you guys already know I'm fundamentally excited about it. But what's the kicker for this month? What's really gotten me excited about it? Well, it's been the obvious fact that we got a listing on Binance. And this, again, speaks towards a fundamental aspect, the community. Binance, one of the best things they do is that they take a community polling to new coins for the given website and the exchange. And I had no doubt when they listed Rayblox as a potential candidate that they would win this in a landslide. Whereas I think, in my opinion, you had players like Experience Points obviously break the system, or they obviously distributed Binance tokens or Binance coins. Rayblox did it in an honest, humble sense. You literally had a community that came in waves and droves to get Rayblox onto other exchanges. And this has been something that's been setting back Rayblox for a while. It was originally only on an exchange called BitGrail, and because of that, it had very low liquidity. But with the listing of KuCoin, along with Binance coming as well, as we've already confirmed with the vote here, I think that we can see a lot of great, not only price action, but also adoption as well for Rayblox. So to be fair with you all, I don't hold a large portion. As I stated in my previous videos, I'm waiting for it to get on Binance. If you guys would like to donate some to me, I would honestly take it over most cryptocurrencies. So I've got a donation thing down below if you guys want to put it in there. And I think we got about a dozen donated due to the previous video that we did on it. So I was very appreciative of that, because I know I'm not opening up a KuCoin account or a BitGrail account. I'm waiting for it to come on Binance. So again, I hope that speaks volumes that I don't have a large position in it, guys, but I genuinely believe in the technology, and I think it's going to do fantastic this month. So I can't wait to see it get listed on Binance, and I know I'll be buying a portion as well, and hopefully being able to use it in as many ways as I can, because I believe in the digital, decentralized peer-to-peer cash. And as you all can see, if you have any questions in regards to the tech, again, I want you to understand it. So please go to my channel, go watch the video, and check it out for yourself and see the magic happen before you for feeless, instantaneous transactions, something that I'm very passionate about. All right, last but not least, guys, this one might shock you. This one coin may shock you, the one that could save your entire crypto portfolio. Okay, no, I'm not going to sell you on it, guys, but it's Bitcoin. I know it's nothing fancy. I know it's, yes, the highest valued cryptocurrency. And yes, I know it's not a small cap that could easily go up 100 or 200%, guys. But to be fair, this is not like every other month of cryptocurrencies. Notice how at the beginning, where I usually just go into talking about the coins that I'm optimistic on, I spent a little bit of time to remind you all about my stance on the market, because right now we are in a little bit of a bearish market. Not so much in a absolute crash or an absolute correction, but we're experiencing a pullback in this market. And because of that, people are taking secure positions. They're stepping out of the high-risk plays, altcoins predominantly. And when you're talking about altcoins, you're talking about every coin outside of Bitcoin. So because of that, Bitcoin itself plays a very, very fundamental play on the market. It's a very big foundation in regards to cryptocurrencies, and it acts as really two things. I think we all obviously know that Bitcoin has been coined digital gold. I think that that has become overwhelmingly clear because of the fact that people are simply buying Bitcoin for the mass reason of it going up in valuation. As much as I would like it to be peer-to-peer digital cash, it's not functioning like that right now. It's not providing the ability to do that. Maybe with Lightning Network and scaling it could, but again, topic for another time. We've obviously seen that it's been coined as digital gold, and a second core reason that Bitcoin is so important is because it is the easiest entry point into the crypto market. It is the initial step, and because of that, Bitcoin serves as a pool of liquidity. And I've been talking about this all on my trip when I was in Ireland, when I was in London, when I was in Amsterdam, and here in Zurich, Switzerland, as well as in Basel. We talked about how Bitcoin is a swaying pool of liquidity. And when markets want to take more risk, when the whales in the market get a little bit more greedy and they have all that Bitcoin and they're like, I want to start investing in these altcoin projects, they obviously came in droves in December, and you saw them taking higher risk plays. Again, it's very much like traditional markets. There's periods where people get greedy. They think they have the greater fool mindset where they'll be able to sell something to someone at a higher price. Many of the times they knew that they were buying something overvalued. But that's what happens in these markets, guys. And if you want to trade or invest in them, you have to understand that. But everything trades comparative in most cases to Bitcoin. Now, sure, there's Ether and Litecoin pairings, but Bitcoin is that core foundation. So enough rambling on it. Hopefully you see that philosophy. I'll talk more about it on the channel eventually. But I want to go through here and really talk about it on really two key fundamental senses. First and foremost, the dominance of the cryptocurrency market. Other coins have been stopping out at that level we talked about, guys, at 25%. Remember how we talked about that for weeks? We were talking about 25%, 25%. Well, if we take a look here as the data loads, look at exactly where it stopped out. 25%, right at 25%. And because of that, I think it's a time where, as we're obviously still seeing rejection there at 25% for other coins, all the other coins outside of the top 10, that we're going to see that number take a slight little decline. How far? I don't really know. And I don't know how far Bitcoin dominance will reclimb, or if it will in any guaranteed sense. But I genuinely believe that as of now, we need to see Bitcoin take back some of that dominance. We're going more towards a secure market. Now, that doesn't mean Bitcoin's going to absolutely skyrocket. I think it will take some upside going into the month of February, so long as we don't enter into a prolonged bear market. Don't see any reason why. But this provides a really good opportunity for Bitcoin not only to gain dominance, but to see an uptick in price action. And I'll go ahead and take a look at the technical price and explain why. Without doing any crazy technical analysis, you all know I like to keep things very simple. We can obviously see with the moving averages that Bitcoin is toying right now with the 100-day moving average, as well as maybe giving an opportunity for this to correct down to the 200-day, which is around the $9,000 range by the time the price would reach there. So because of that, we can obviously see Bitcoin has gone in a correction. It has had more, generally speaking, of a 50% correction during the periods where it stepped below 10,000. And because of that, this provides a really wonderful opportunity not only to average everyday retail investors who didn't get into the cryptocurrency run-up previously, but along with that as well, institutions, hedge funds, people who want to get a piece of the action, not to mention all of the new institutional tools that are coming out, the ETFs that could be coming in February or March. And because of that, I would not doubt Bitcoin as a good play, guys. Again, the big mistake that so many people made was that during this whole altcoin run-up, no one ever thought that Bitcoin itself might have been a better play because of the fact that these altcoins could eventually drop. And so many people, I've met people on the journey that I've taken on the world trip, and I've met so many people online that lost a lot of their portfolio within a very short period of time. Just like how it went up, exuberance was able to make up the difference in a single day. And because of that, though Bitcoin has been declining, even when I locked in a lot of my altcoin trading positions, it has been a much better position than having it in altcoins. It's the secure position in crypto. And again, you have that pendulum cycle. You have that liquidity going back more towards secure positions or to higher risk positions because markets move in cycles. And if we don't understand that, if we don't think a step ahead of the game while Bitcoin's still low, you might miss that opportunity. So again, I know it's nothing fancy. I know it's no fancy piece of technology or some ICO that's claiming to be the next Bitcoin. But I think for the security of this month, I already know that I have one of my obvious largest position is not only Bitcoin. It's always been a good long-term position. But right now, it is the largest position in my portfolio. I'm heavily inside Bitcoin. So because of that, I would keep an eye on it, even if it declines down to the 200-day. I have no worry for it because I think on a very simple and practical basis, we're generally around a 50% discount, and you don't want to pass up opportunities for that when altcoins, even though they've corrected heavily, are still exponentially higher than they were a few months ago, back about a month and a half ago. So again, guys, stay ahead of the market, think ahead of the game. It might seem low right now, it might seem bearish, but Bitcoin itself is the king of all crypto still to this day, and it is a foundation and a pillar behind the entire cryptocurrency market. So even if you don't like Bitcoin, you got to have a sense of respect for it. It's the first, it's the OG of crypto, and because of that, it plays a key role being the paradigm trade between every altcoin and any high volume crypto market. Okay? So because of that, guys, I know I have rambled on heavily, and I do apologize for the quick sputters from here and there. And I know it hasn't been a crazy month in regards to the altcoin picks that I picked today. However, I wanted to get fundamental players. I wanted to get the video out. I know I've been sick, but again, guys, I do want to apologize for the delay on everything. But I think these are going to be, honestly, some of the best plays this month, and I hope to not only build a long-term position in Ray blocks when it gets on Binance, as well as continuing to add on to my icon position if it maybe has a continued pullback going before February. But along with that, making sure just to generally keep a safe mindset in this market. Again, do not get greedy, guys. Wait for things to ride down maybe a little bit more. We have a few more weeks to go as we step into the month of February, where things might still hold a little bit of a bearish tone. But if you can play this month safe, if you can lock in a lot of those profits you still probably gained back in December and maybe still have held through January, you will do well, not only going into February, but going into the rest of 2018. All right. Sorry. Even when I'm sick, I got to do it, guys. All right. Well, anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up if you guys like the picks we had. And if you didn't see a coin listed here, guys, please don't get mad at me. I have to pick between 3 coins out of the almost 1,500. We must have 1,500 coins now. But if you got a coin you like or a set of coins, leave it down in the comments down below and tell me why you like it. I want to hear what you guys think. And if you see a coin that you like that someone's commented, give them a thumbs up, guys. All right. Well, thank you guys again for being understanding. I hope to be making some more content for you guys soon. But until then, everyone, I'll see you all in the next video. Stay tuned.